Father Connors was not like most men. When he got the news that he was being transferred to one of the worst prisons in America, he smiled. He knew that this is where he could do the most good and spread the word of God. The prisoners would need someone to guide them and help them through their most difficult times. Father Connors was born for this. He was a man who truly believed in the power of redemption. Father Patrick Connors was assigned to the prison to provide counseling and church services. The prison had requested Father Connors as the warden used to attend his services every Sunday. The two had kept in touch and developed a friendship over the years. As Father Connors pulled up to the gate, he could see his friend Jim waiting for him. Warden Rogers was happy to see Father Connors again, but had a hidden agenda in requesting him. As Warden Rogers approached Father Connors, he couldn't hide the troubled look on his face. The priest could sense that something was wrong. "Jim, what's the matter?" said Father Connors. Warden Rogers looked back at him and said, "Is it that obvious, Patrick? Let me at least get you into the prison before I drop this one on you, Father." Warden Rogers took Father Connors on a tour of the prison, finally stopping in the office of the prison's chapel. "So this is it, Patrick," said the warden as they sat in the office. Father Connors asked Warden Rogers what is troubling him. Warden Rogers tells him there is something very strange going on with a patient in their hospital ward. The patient, an inmate, has been complaining of hearing voices and seeing things that no one else can see. What makes this so unusual is that the patient was injured in a fight and has been clinically brain dead for over 2 months. He really shouldn't even be alive at this point. Father Patrick can see that the warden is extremely worried about this and doesn't know what to do. The warden tells Father Connors that the man will levitate out of his bed and speak in a language they have never heard before. The prison had brought in all sorts of medical experts before determining it was something supernatural going on. Father Connors listened carefully and then asked to see the man. As soon as Father Connors stepped into the man's room, he knew something was very, very wrong. The man was lying on the bed, strapped down, and he began to levitate off of it. His complexion was extremely pale and there were dark circles around his eyes. It was clear that he was possessed by demons. Father Connor began to say a prayer, but before he could finish, the man opened his eyes and looked at him with pure evil in his gaze. The man's body began to convulse and Father Connor could see the terror in his eyes. The demons had taken over and were using him as a vessel to contact our world. They spoke Latin to Father Connors, saying horrific things about him and Warden Rogers. The room became cold and dark as the demons took control. The hospital room was alive with the sound of demonic laughter and insults. The energy from the demons was taking its toll on the prisoners. Alarms were sounding throughout the prison, causing chaos amongst both the prisoners and guards. The room became filled with an overwhelming stench of sulfur and death. The man in the bed was convulsing, his body possessed by the evil spirits. The demonic energy began breaking the man's bones. He screamed in agony to the delight of the demons that were using his body. Father Connors took out his Bible and began reciting passages to slow the demons down. The man's screams echoed through the halls as the demons slowly began to tear him apart. Father Connors yelled at the warden to bring him some water that he could bless. Warden Rogers understood the urgency in Father Connors' voice and ran as fast as he could to get the water. Without hesitation, Father Connors blessed the water and threw the pitcher of holy water on the man, instantly causing him to fall back onto his bed. The demon possessing the man at that time was gone, but they both knew it wouldn't be long before another one took its place. Father Connors asked the warden to go get some more water for him to bless. The warden quickly ran off to do as he was asked, and when he returned, the man had already been possessed by demons again. Father Connor could see the terror in his eyes, and he knew there was nothing he could do to save him. Father Connors held the man's hands to comfort him and pray. As the warden ran into the room with the water, Father Connor let go of the man and stepped away. The demon inside of him was thrashing about, trying to escape. This time the water did nothing to quell it, and soon enough, the demon had taken full control. It looked at Father Connor with pure malevolence before fleeing the body and disappearing into thin air. The demons were taking turns controlling the man's body. They had found a way to use his lifeless body as a portal into our world. Father Connors backed him and Warden Rogers into the corner of the room, holding a crucifix in front of him. He held his Bible tight and prayed for their souls. The room began overflowing with what seemed like all of the inhabitants of hell. The demon possessing the man smirked and stepped forward. Father Connors blessed the man on the bed and asked for God's protection. The demons and evil spirits surrounded Father Connors and Warden Rogers, each trying to knock Father Connors' Bible and crucifix from his hands so they could attack. They were getting closer and closer to him, but he held on tight to the Bible. Suddenly, One of the demons knocked both the Bible and crucifix from out of his hands. The last thing these two men heard was the demons scream as they lunged at them.